And I just told Michelle the framed print that she was presented with has a Space Camp flag, and we flew, I think, about 50 of those on a mission. So she's going to tell you who also flew and took him up into space, and he doesn't even know he took him up there, I don't think.
Probably not.
No.
Thank you. For those of you who know me being at a loss of words is pretty unusual. And yet here I am I wrote some remarks on my phone, because of course, we're all electronic. And I'm just blown away. Thank you. And let me start with the thank yous, because I'm afraid I'll forget. And I want to thank all of you for all of this. I believe that life is about the journey, but more importantly, the journey is about the people along the way. And so I feel so fortunate to now be part of this very special family, a subset of a even more incredible, very large, 650,000 person large family. So, wow, what a treat. Trevor told me that really I could just start with ... acceptance remarks, ... thank you, and go, because that's what the script says, and I see it here. And there's another person in the back lobbying, who shall remain nameless, that my speech go at least 16 minutes, so that person can lose that distinction. I can promise you it won't. But I'd be remiss if I hadn't given him a little grief about it. Thank you to Space Camp. Thank you to my friends and family who are here, who supported me, to my mom, who made my astronaut costume out of a white sweatsuit and plastic bags, and I'm really glad that photo didn't end up in the montage. I was very fortunate to have people along the way believe in me, people like Mrs. Corey, who that really got to me. I haven't seen Mrs. Corey in a while, and she was truly a mentor of mine, even though she wasn't a STEM teacher. And I think that's something that's key, is that we're all mentors to students, whether we're STEM or not. If you think that when you're passionate about something, you're not inspiring students, you're wrong. It's the passion that inspires students. Vincent van Gogh said, "For my part, I know nothing with any certainty, but the sight of the stars makes me dream." I've dreamt for as long as I can remember while looking at the stars. And Space Camp was one of those dreams at one point, and it seemed unattainable, like I couldn't attend. And then my mom and my dad they scrimped and they saved to get me here the first time after I watched the movie, which, by the way, I watched again recently, and I think I'm going to have to go back and watch again, just because now I'm feeling some nostalgia. But then after that, I knew that there was no way that I could come back. We just couldn't afford it. And thanks to the scholarships and for everyone here for supporting the scholarship fund, I was able to come back. This is where my passion really, I'm going to go with the pun. This is where my passion really took off. I loved space. My mom took me to the Museum of Science and Industry in Chicago every chance she got. They had about 4 space things, and I could tell you every letter of every plaque that was in there because I loved it so much. And so coming here, it was almost like a pilgrimage. I felt fortunate to be surrounded by people who loved space as much as I did. I've been very fortunate along the way to meet some amazing folks. I got to work at NASA for 10 years, got to work with the likes of Charlie and Don, and I never actually got to work with Hoot, but I've become rather fond of Hoot too since I've gotten to know him here. They mentioned the 124 flag, and there's actually a really funny story about that. I had spent a bunch of years training the Japanese flight controllers and instructors for STS 123 and 124. It's one of my jobs. And then, lo and behold, who goes and gets assigned to STS 124? Kat and I had gotten engaged about a month prior, and then he got assigned to STS 124. So to Space Camp here, you guys are like, oh, that's cool. It was the flag that Ken flew, and it is cool. But for me, that was one of my first space shuttle crews that I got the joy of training. I won't tell you who is the only person who showed up late to my class. You can figure that out on your own. But I did get the pleasure of meeting great individuals that are here as Hall of Famers, as alumni. Charlie, thanks for the words from Frank. I was Frank's sports score deliverer while he was on Expedition 3. I like to claim I was the original Aaron Andrews. But along the lines, I've enjoyed my career in space, and then, as was mentioned, I started Higher Orbits. And my goal with Higher Orbits is to inspire the next generation as well. And it wouldn't have begun if it weren't for here. I believe in pay it forward. I believe in pay it back. I just came back from running some events in my hometown. Or for those of you who are of the younger demographic, maybe you know Racket, Random Acts of Kindness. I really believe that it's all of our job to inspire the next generation, and that's what Space Camp has done for 650,000 students. Whether they've all go on to become rocket scientists or not, that's not what's important. What's important is that they find their passion, and this is a place to find your passion. So I thank all of you for this amazing cosmic. There's that loss for words. Thank you. I appreciate it, and hope to see you all again.